Hello, you are listening to the OmniTalk Fast 5, brought to you in partnership with the A&M Consumer and Retail Group, Firework, SPS Commerce, and Sezzle. Ranked in the top 10% of all podcasts globally, the OmniTalk Fast 5 podcast is the podcast that we hope makes you feel a little smarter, but most importantly, a little happier each week too. Today is March 9th.
9th, yes,
2023. Ann. I am your host, Ann Mazinga.
And I'm Chris Walton.
And we are here once again to discuss all the headlines making waves in the world of omnichannel retailing. Chris?
Great recovery there. For those that are listening, I actually write the openings every week, and I put the wrong date on there. I still had last week's date on there and knew the date right away. I'm impressed. I had no idea it was March 9th.
It's on the screen.
I had no idea it was March 9th. Oh, right.
I knew where to look.
Right.
I'm cheating. We are coming to you nice and bright and early after returning home last night and a solid burrito dinner from Miami, from the National Confectioners Association State of the Industry Conference.
Yeah, it was great. It was such a good conference. I loved it.
For sure, one of my top conferences of all time.
The venue was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
The crowd was awesome.
Let's talk about also the candy. We had candy delivered to our rooms every night. Mm-hmm. It was magical.
I had to bring a whole separate carry-on just for the candy.
Yeah. My kids don't understand just how amazing this is. So I can only imagine the people at that conference, their kids must love them so much more than our kids love us.
Oh, right. Yeah, and my dentist wife was not happy when I got home with this incredible bag of candy.
I can only imagine.
Yeah,
it was
tough.
vivid.
It's tough. But the one downside of the trip, I will say, was there was quite a lot of bugs at the trip. And they particularly liked your skin much more than mine.
Terrible, Chris. I counted. So there's these bugs. They're kind of like mosquitoes. They're called no-see-ums.
No-see-ums, because you don't see them.
You don't see them. And my mom and dad used to live in Florida, so I would always get attacked by them. I couldn't go out after 4 p.m. because they were especially bad then. But this Miami, 82 bites I counted.
82 bites?
And that's just the ones I can see, Chris. That's not even the ones that are God knows where.
So you need help to get the full count?
I might start itching and scratching during this. Hopefully not, but
That's insane. 82 bites.
I tried the Epsom bath. I tried everything so that I could release the toxins.
Oh my God. But in seriousness, we had a great show. We got to do our live Fast Five in front of the audience. Everyone was really receptive to it. We also got to interview 2 executives from Walmart and Target on stage, which I don't think's ever happened in my recollection.
No, and it was amazing.
Mark Kenny and Seth Malley.
Yeah.
They were a blast. We got them kind of jabbing at each other towards the end.
Awesome.
It was awesome. But yeah, if any of you are interested in having Ann and me come to your company to do a live Fast Five in front of your team and tailored to your organization, just drop either one of us a message on LinkedIn or email us at info@redarcherretail.com. That's info@redarcherretail.com. We'd love to do it for you. We love taking this format on the road. All right, Ann, should we get started?
Let's do it.
In today's Fast Five, we've got news on the ongoing saga of Amazon Go, Dollar Tree's plans to launch hundreds of private label items as they push into grocery, Uber's new shopping option for drivers, the Shef to consumer marketplace startup that now plans to expand nationwide.
Oh, yes.
But we begin today with some big healthcare moves from Walmart. Ann.
That's right. Chris, headline number 1 is that Walmart plans to double its health center format by 2024. That's next year. So according to Chain Store Age, it plans to open 28 new Walmart health centers next year, giving it a total of more than 75 locations by the end of 2024. The expansion will increase Walmart Health's footprint into 2 new states, Missouri and Arizona, and also deepen it in Texas, specifically within the Dallas metro area and also in Houston.
Yes.
The new facilities will be approximately 5,750 square feet and located beside Walmart supercenters and will feature a full suite of health services. The services will likely vary by location, but include primary care, labs, X-ray, and EKG, behavioral health, dental, hearing, select specialty services, community health, and telehealth. Walmart debuted its freestanding health center concept in 2019, and currently there are 32 Walmart health locations open across Arkansas, Florida, Georgia, Illinois, and Texas.
Did you know there were that many?
I wasn't aware there were that many.
I didn't either.
But as we will discuss in this headline, like there's a lot of things going on at Walmart that I just don't think we even know about that contribute to this bigger idea. Yeah. But what are your thoughts on this, Chris?
I've been just growing more and more impressed with Walmart with each and every passing week here, and especially Doug McMillon and his leadership. But my big takeaway is lots of moves in the retail healthcare space this weekend.
Oh, for
lots
sure.
of them. So you've got this one, just to call attention for our listeners. You got this one, and then you also had Best Buy working with Atrium.
Yes.
On in-home hospital installations, which I think is a great move.
Yeah.
But I love this move by Walmart, and there's two things that stand out to me. One, how fast they're growing the concept.
Right.
Because, and I've said this before on the show, and it got me in trouble once. I won't say why, but I think it's really important. The speed at which a retailer rolls out something tells you how much they are behind it,
right,
and how big of an impact they think the idea could have. That's very important to keep in mind, as it's going to come up later in the show, I think, as well. The second thing that struck me in what you just read is the size of these operations and where they are. Okay, so they're only 6,000 square feet.
Right.
So that's an easy build, and they're placing them right in the parking lot. Like, it's similar to like a standalone gas station concept at a Walmart. It's no different than that. So they can put these anywhere, and they can build them out as quick as they want. And it's telling me that Walmart is doing a great job, when you think about it in that context, of being the get stuff done in my life place to go.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, back when we were working on Store of the Future, Chris, there was this idea, and Walmart was talking about it, Target was talking about it, like, how do you become the town center? Walmart, with almost 5,000 locations, uniquely positioned to do this. And I was talking to Seth Malley behind stage before we went on, just about, like, I didn't realize that Walmart was rolling out its own standalone convenience and gas stores.
Right.
And they're doing that. Some, a lot of them are, again, in the Walmart parking lot. And I think when you start to think about all those Walmart locations and then just kind of building upon the parking lot options, adding these healthcare centers is a great thing for the community to be able to use when they're
100%.
going to, and then picking up any drugs or anything they need afterward, or, food items or grocery. Like, it's one quick trip. And then I think the other thing that I bring in here too is, talking to Chris Duncan a couple of weeks ago at E-Tail from Claire's about them going into Walmart, and they're just renting space inside the Walmart. Right. They're leasing space just like a mall. So I think the more that you're adding into this, I think is so valuable to the consumer to be that one-stop shop and to really make Walmart like the center of the community, which is a thing that I think they've been wanting to do for quite a long time. So
yeah, right.
I love this idea.
Right. Doctor, give me the news. I got a bad case of, I don't know.
Why
it's just,
do you feel
doctor. Sorry. The other point I'd make, Joanne, real quick.
Yeah.
Best Buy. Let's go back to that for a second.
Yeah.
Best Buy's move is great because it shows the same trend here, but they're continuing to differentiate in the same way against Walmart that they have traditionally. So Walmart going with the standalone health center idea.
Yep.
But Best Buy saying, you know what, we're going to win on the services angle,
right,
and help you get these in-home hospitals set up,
right,
similar to how you set up your like man caves,
yep,
same idea. So brilliant move from them. All right, headline number 2, according to Retail Dive, Amazon is permanently closing 8 Go convenience stores, 2 in Seattle, 2 in New York City, and 4 in San Francisco, all around April 1st. The closures represent, this blew my mind, Ann, nearly 1/4 of Amazon's current store base, and brings the current estimated total amount of Go stores down to just 23.
Is this an April Fool's joke?
No, right. That's kind of funny, right? Yeah.
I just realized that April 1st is the thing. I hope this is an April Fool's joke.
It's too funny to joke about, Ann.
I know.
Right. And yet, despite these closures, an Amazon spokesperson said about the news, quote, "We remain committed to the Amazon Go format, operate more than 20 Amazon Go stores across the U.S., and will continue to learn which locations and features resonate most with customers as we keep evolving our Amazon Go stores," end quote. And are you buying that stated commitment?
We talked about this at the NCA show.
We did.
I'm not ready to give up on these yet. Like, I think that there's still some like formulation happening. The only difference is that Amazon conducts its R&D in the real world versus a lot of some of the other retailers that are exploring this concept. Like, it starts internally with the store. It's like Amazon's doing this and they're getting real life data. And so I think that we're going to continue to expect to see this like wax and wane a little bit. But I still think this is a good concept for early adopters. I'm a little surprised to see San Francisco and New York closing, because that seems like the prime market for these.
Yeah.
So maybe they're seeing better results with the suburban Go formats. That could be. I stand by my theory, though, that this is still an early adopter problem, that there's still not enough people that feel comfortable shopping like this, and that as soon as they start to expand stadiums selling booze and you can get a beer in no time at all because you're using the Amazon Just Walk Out, I think it's just going to be like QR codes at a restaurant during the pandemic. Like, I think that people will catch on to that, and then that's going to start to take this concept by storm.
I'm actually gonna be a little more pointed on this one.
Okay.
I'm gonna bring up a couple points here. So the Retail Dive article, they stated something, and I don't remember I can't recall if it was specifically said by Amazon or something that Retail Dive was inferring, and that was what you said about the New York, San Francisco markets being busy places, and they're kind of dead on the weekends, and so they don't really feel like this format's right.
Okay.
But I've lived in those markets, during the week, and those stores pound.
Right.
Like, they are just pounders, like the amount of people going in and out of them. So this concept should work very well for that market. So to think it's just going to work in suburbia makes me kind of question that. But the other reason is, and it goes back to what I said in the first headline, I'm going to eat what I cook here.
Okay.
What did I just say? I said you can tell how well something is working by how fast a retailer rolls it out. Amazon Go's been around since 2018.
Yep.
They aren't speeding up the pace of the format. And overall, they're actually pulling it back pretty significantly. So my hunch right now, if I read the tea leaves, is I think Just Walk Out may just be a licensing play at this point to airports, to campuses like we heard about this week with the Transact campus news. Because here, I'm going to be really pointed here too. What evidence do we have, Ann, that Amazon is good at physical retail? I pose that question to everyone, and to Amazon too, you data-driven company. What evidence is there that you know how to do physical retail? 4-star?
Right.
Books? Fresh? Style?
Yeah.
Like, I'm waiting.
Right.
Like, it doesn't appear that anyone is really beating down the doors to shop at any of them. But what do you think?
The only,
you get the last
the
word
only
here.
defense I would say here is that I think that we're seeing a lot of success when you go into the smaller container stores, which, to your point, is in general, that's licensing. You're talking about like the small, Hudson News concepts. And we haven't seen, at least I wasn't able to find what these campus stores look like. But I think
they got to be small, though.
If you're doing that real small format, I do think there's a benefit to continuing to use that technology eventually when you get down to the point of like eventually being able to eliminate staffing from that, being able to be open 24/7, having a small limited number of SKUs that the cameras will know and identify. It's not like you're changing stuff up like a grocery store is at that volume all the time. So I have hope for this still to come. I still think that there is going to be use cases for it. I think Amazon's just still figuring it out.
Yeah, real quick before it goes. I think you're potentially still onto something where if you look at the history of Amazon, how it built its e-commerce platform, right? It really built that on the backs of other people licensing the technology too, until it got to be the way people wanted to shop. So yeah, I could see them still just playing the licensing angle here for the next 5 to 10 years.
Right.
And then maybe this idea gets more of a play from them or other people in the physical world. But I don't know if Amazon's gonna be the one to do it.
And will it be from Amazon or will other retailers have started taking over by then? Because I still think like the licensing play for me for Amazon still doesn't make sense. Like, I think the big retailers are not going to be giving this information over to Amazon. So I think it's a great opportunity for the Trigos, the Grabangos of the world.
And Amazon doesn't know how to do physical retail.
That's right.
Like, okay.
All right, we get passionate about this. Just Walk Out technology. All right, headline number 3. So Dollar Tree plans to open a test kitchen and to launch hundreds of private label items as it pushes even deeper into grocery. In addition, according to Winsight Grocery Business, Dollar Tree and Family Dollar also said it has begun, quote, aggressively expanding, end quote, its $3, $4, and $5 frozen and refrigerated products growing from 0 to 3,500 stores last year.
Is that clocked? Damn, that's a lot.
That's a lot. CEO Rick Dreeling told analysts early Wednesday in a call to discuss earnings, quote, this will consist of 3 cooler doors, one at each price point, with an attractive selection of proteins, pizza, ice cream, and more, which the consumer is responding positively to, end quote. Quote, our goal is to have 30 doors per store, end quote, Dreeling also said. One more quote here. When a shopper buys something from the multiple price point refrigerated and frozen section at Dollar Tree, their basket size is more than double that of someone with no multi-priced items, end quote. Lots of thoughts there from the old CEO, Chris.
Lots of really good thoughts.
This is also the A&M Put You on the Spot question this week.
The third headline this week, not saving it till the end.
No,
I like it.
not happening.
I like it. Bring it.
All right. A&M is going to ask you this, Chris.
Okay. Closing my eyes. I'm deep in thought.
All right. The dollar discount channel continues to be a force to be reckoned with in grocery, with food comps outpacing the rest of the store. Given the emphasis on private label, if you're a branded CPG food manufacturer, how worried are you about continued margin degradation across channels after reading this headline?
Oh, wow. Yeah. I think you have to worry about it. I think you 100% have to worry about it, because if you're a CPG, the thing I'd say about this strategy, I have literally no doubt that it's going to work. I'm going to be that brazen in my opinion. And I say that because I've seen it work firsthand at Target, Ann.
Right.
I was leading frozen food at Target when Target expanded its frozen food doors, essentially, to every store in the country. And it was never that way. People can remember, like, Target didn't carry food not that long ago. It was like 15 years ago.
They maybe had 3 doors or something.
Yeah.
I mean, it was minimal.
it was very, very small, but that's what they did. And that was the playbook. It was go frozen food first, refrigerated, because that stuff keeps a little bit longer, especially the frozen stuff. Then you expand into private label, right? The dry goods, the frozen food, private label offerings. And then ultimately you move into fresh. Like, that's the playbook here.
Yep.
And it's going to work, because now it's just taking that playbook, adapting it to a different demographic. And so this has to impact CPGs to some degree in the long run, especially as those lower demographic, price-conscious consumers are in play.
I love this too, because I think when I think about the future, you're talking about, they've seen success with the frozen and refrigerated goods. Now they're starting to go into fresh. Fresh grocery drives trips, like, end of story. And I think when we kind of layer this on top of the Walmart kind of town center idea that we were talking about in the first story, Dollar Tree also has the ability to do this, but at a slightly smaller scale than Walmart.
Right. You don't need to offer everything.
They have how many thousands of locations? Like,
underserved markets.
They also have the opportunity to provide products that is an alternative now to usually the only grocery outlet in town. Like, when you go to these small towns, it's like there's a grocery store, there's a dollar store, and a gas station and a bar, And now when you think about, not only can I get these private label brands from Dollar Tree, but I can also get all my shopping done for everything else I need in the Dollar Tree store.
Right.
So I don't have to make a trip to the grocery store and a trip to Dollar Tree, and it's cheaper. Like, all of the things are coming together to make this a more opportune, time-saving, convenient shopping experience in all these regions. So I think it's brilliant.
100%. So one-stop shop in the dollar environment. That's essentially what we're going for
here.
Exactly.
And
it just makes fundamental sense.
Yes.
I mean, all right. Before we get to headline 4, this is also the part of the podcast where we tell you about another great retail conference Ann and I are heading to this summer, and that is Home Delivery World.
Home Delivery
World. Home Delivery World is the largest free supply chain and logistics conference and expo, and it is taking place June 14th and 15th in Philly. Here's the other thing, Ann. It's also free to attend, so I don't think it costs very much. That's my take. I think it's fairly affordable.
It's very affordable,
very
and
affordable
we get to hang out with us.
Yeah, you get to hang out with us and over 350 other exhibitors, all of whom are showcasing cutting-edge retail logistics solutions with 7,000 plus attendees.
Yeah, this is a great one. This is kind of like NCA because everybody like knows each other.
It is, yeah.
There's like a lot of like fun. People are fun at these
Supply chain
conferences.
wonky.
They've known each other for a long time. Yeah, it's great time.
I love it. Yeah, so just head to terrapin.com/home delivery world. That's TERRAPINN.com/home delivery world to learn more and register today. All right, headline number 4. According to Chain Store Age, Uber is introducing Shop and Pay, a new earning opportunity on the Uber driver app in the U.S. that lets delivery personnel opt into receiving trips to go into retailers, primarily grocery stores, and to shop and check out for orders before delivering them to customers as usual. Now, nearly 200,000 U.S. delivery personnel have already been performing shopping trips since the program began being piloted, according to Uber. And according to Teresa Lim, Senior Director of Product Management, Grocery Plus New Verticals at Uber, interesting title, quote, couriers who use Uber Eats are increasingly finding grocery shopping to be a reliable and positive addition to their earning opportunities, end quote. And it feels like Uber is trying to turn its normal non-Uber Eats drivers into Instacart-like drivers. Do you like this move?
Yeah, it's super smart. I mean, there's not a lot to say about it here. It's just like, they're following the DoorDash playbook where you just do whatever you can to keep your drivers as utilized as they possibly can be, keep them profitable, keep them busy. And I think that the upgrades to the app here are like the smart things. I think that I have to give the product team at Uber kudos for really thinking through like allowing digital payments to be all handled within the app, which makes life easier on the drivers, especially when this is a new kind of activity, and then helping them with substitutions. So I haven't used the app myself, but I think that they were smartly addressing like how do we get these people onboarded as quickly as possible so they can start making money and start being more efficient.
Yeah, it sounds smart, right? It totally sounds smart. So I mean, I don't have much to add. I love it too. I think, like to your point, just to add on to it, it's a scale game at this point. We've talked about it a lot. So whether you're talking about returns, being a taxi service, doing restaurant delivery, a la DoorDash, all of those bring scale to your operation, which is vastly different than trying to provide in-store shopping technology, which, as we talked about last week, is what Instacart's doing. We've talked about a lot and why we don't like that idea. But you have to, I mean, the last takeaway I'd have here, Ann, is I think if I'm looking, and I've been thinking about this a lot, if I think long-term, I have to think for those reasons, Uber Eats and DoorDash become the number 1 and number 2 players in the long run in the U.S. delivery marketplace game because they have those scale efficiencies.
Right.
And Instacart, at best, is going to get gobbled up by either one of them when I think about how this plays out. You agree?
I agree, yeah. Right. Now I just need them to like cut my hair, fix my computer, my cracked phone screen.
On-demand haircuts.
all the other things. All right, let's go to headline number 5. Shef, spelled S-H-E-F, a Chef-to-consumer marketplace is now taking its marketplace nationwide, Chris. According to TechCrunch, Shef works with local cooks making authentic homemade dishes and provides them with business tools like menu formation and pricing, photography, teaches them how to create their own bios, and how to market and promote themselves. Thousands of chefs are now using the platform across 11 states and Washington, D.C., 85% of whom are women and 80% people of color. And many are immigrants or refugees cooking homemade dishes representing nearly 100 countries.
Wow.
In the past 4 years, TechCrunch says that Shef has facilitated the serving of approximately 3 million dishes and helps chefs bring in tens of millions of dollars in net income. Chris, what are your thoughts on this one?
Man, I like this idea a lot.
Yeah.
I know you love it, so I'm gonna probably cede the floor to you really quickly. But I mean, I like it because it makes becoming a chef or opening a restaurant even easier because it lowers the cost to get started versus opening a restaurant with all the capital that requires. It's insane. It's even better than buying a food truck for that reason or buying into the BS concept that we called BS on pretty early, the cloud kitchens. Right? It's the same thing. But all those, I mean, whether you want to look at a food truck or cloud kitchen, all those potentially still become a viable option for you as you learn the value of you as a chef. Right. In the marketplace. Like and this gives you the ability to test the waters there very simply to say like, do people like my food? Right. Are they attracted to it? Let me see. And then I can go into those other things, open my own restaurant later. It's a smart move from an entrepreneurial perspective. Yes. So I think this thing's going to be gangbusters.
Yeah, I know at first when people hear about this, they're kind of like, I'm sorry, you're going to cook food in your kitchen and then I'm going to pick it up. Like that sounds creepy. But
is that the voice they use too?
I think that's like what is going through people's head, like who are.
It was like kind of Fran Drescher meets like California snobby. Sure. It was kind of cool. I like that.
Take the 401.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Anyway, but I'm the wrong person to ask about this because I love this. You know, like I share my house, I do home exchanges, I share my car, everything. I've been ordering food from my neighbor across the street for the last 3 years, like Morgan's Broth and Buns. Like I pick it up every Friday from her kitchen. Like she runs it out in the kitchen. Yeah. So I love this. I think that, you know, we've already seen this success at scale with Shef. They've served 3 million meals or facilitated the serving of 3 million meals. You have a millennial and Gen Z audience who I think are big into this sharing economy and getting like sourced really great food experiences and supporting these communities that, again, like don't have access to capital to open restaurants right away. So I think that's really smart. And also, when we're thinking about the logistics of this too, so Shef, that application, they're handling all of the delivery and everything, like the last mile logistics for getting these products to the consumers. So all you have to, like, as an individual, that's another thing that you don't have to worry about is plugging into like Uber Eats or whatever away. But then it also made me think of, we interviewed Harbor Lockers back at Manifest, and they created those lockers for like that. You know, it's an open API, so anybody can use that. Yeah, so Facebook exchange, Facebook marketplace exchanges, any retailer can plug into that. But now I think this is a really cool opportunity for that too. Like if you are a person selling on the Shef platform to be able to walk up to these lockers and put all 25 of your orders in and you're done. That's another use case for this potentially that I think is really cool.
Yeah, right. But before we get off this, I want to just make sure I heard you correctly. So you order something from a place called Broth and Buns?
Yes, she makes
what's it called again?
Morgan's Broth and Buns.
Morgan's Broth and Buns.
Yeah, she's based in Minneapolis.
Wow.
She took her Bubby's matzo ball soup recipe,
wow.
chicken soup recipe. So every Friday you can pick up a quart of chicken noodle soup with egg noodles and then
I'm just a
challah
big
bread.
fan of the alliteration.
Oh, it's
well.
And cinnamon rolls now. They make challah cinnamon rolls.
I ain't no challah back guy, so
you are
let's
not.
do this.
Oh my
All
God.
right.
Let's get out of here before Chris starts singing Gwen Stefani. All right, Chris, lightning round time. Question 1. A-Rod and Mark Laurie are on their next venture, Chris.
I'm sure they are.
Jump, a ticketing app that plans to take on Ticketmaster directly. Chris, if Mark dialed you for dollars for one of his ventures, which would you pony up for first? Jump or Wonder? The mobile food truck concept.
I definitely would pick Jump for sure, just because I've been short on Wonder from the get-go. I mean, I didn't talk about that in the last headline, but it's that last Shef is such a better idea than Wonder, on it conceptually. So yes, I would pick Jump. I'm still a little skeptical of that one too, for reasons we won't go into here, but yes. All right, according to Nestle,
yes,
60% of U.S. households now own an air fryer. Why, Ann, are you one of the holdout 40%?
Because I have a tiny house and I barely have enough
So
space.
it's a counter space issue?
100%.
100%. Okay, so if you had a bigger house, you'd have one.
Perhaps.
All right, perhaps. Right, that's what I thought.
I don't like to keep a lot of things out on my counter.
You're a minimalist.
I try to be a minimalist.
All right.
With my tiny kitchen. All right, Chris, Claire's opened an immersive store in Paris, complete with multiple ear piercing stations. Sorry, just piercing stations. I shouldn't be specific to ear piercing.
Oh, right.
Multiple piercing stations, a content studio, and more. Do you have any piercings? And if not, you had to get something pierced right now, what would it be?
Oh, my God.
I can't believe I don't know this about you, but do you have any piercings?
No, I do not have any piercings, number one. Yes. Yeah, that's funny. You don't know that about me. And this one's going to surprise you, Ann. I would actually go with my tongue at this stage in life. Yeah, I totally would. I think the easy answer is the ear because it's less painful, but I think I'd go with the tongue if I was going to do it, because I would never do it.
Oh my God. Imagining you with a tongue piercing is making me want to vomit in my mouth.
Thank you.
A tongue piercing?
Yeah, because everyone does the ear, but if because I'm never going to do it, I'd be like, yeah, all right, let's go all in. Let's go with the tongue. Yeah.
Oh my God, would you give one of those giant ball things on your tongue?
For sure.
Oh
yeah.
God. All right, we got to move on.
Let your minds wander.
No.
All right, question number 4. This is great. This is one of my all-time faves. Derek Zoolander is set to get his own ad campaign for Pepsi Zero Sugar after his brief appearance in the Super Bowl recently. Because it makes for such great podcast content, and give the audience your best Blue Steel impersonation.
It's almost as bad as imagining you with the tongue ring. That is what the Blue Steel impression looks like.
For those listening and not watching on the video, Ann just whipped her hair and gave her best Blue Steel impersonation, which was all I was hoping for. All right, that wraps us up today. Happy birthday to Oscar Isaac Bow Wow. Bow Wow appearance. And the woman who is the main reason I have watched Pitch Perfect over 30 times, the great Brittany
That's
Snow.
Also somewhat creepy. That's something that a guy with a tongue ring would do.
Oh, come on now. All right, and remember, if you can only read or listen to one retail blog in the business, make it OmniTalk. Our Fast 5 podcast is the quickest, fastest rundown of all the week's top news, and our twice-weekly newsletter tells you the top 5 things you need to know each day, and also features special content exclusive to us, and it's all just for you. And we try really hard to make it all fit within the preview pane of your inbox. You can sign up today at www.omnitalk.blog. Thanks, as always, for listening in. Please remember to like and leave us a review wherever you happen to listen to your podcasts or on YouTube. And so until next week, and on behalf of all of us at OmniTalk, be careful out there.
The OmniTalk Fast 5 is brought to you in association with the A&M Consumer and Retail Group. The A&M Consumer and Retail Group is a management consulting firm that tackles the most complex challenges and advances its clients, people, and communities toward their maximum potential. CRG brings the experience, tools, and operator-like pragmatism to help retailers and consumer products companies be on the right side of disruption. And Firework. Firework is the largest video commerce solution built for the world's leading brands. They empower brands with shoppable and live stream video on their own websites where people like to shop. Put your commerce in motion with Firework. Find out more at firework.com. And SPS Commerce. SPS Commerce is redefining how businesses across the supply chain operate in an omnichannel world. Their experts, tech, and data work together to fuel your growth and deliver for your customers. To find out more, head to spscommerce.com. And finally, Sezzle. Sezzle is an innovative buy now, pay later solution that allows shoppers to split purchases into 4 interest-free payments over 6 weeks. To learn more, visit Sezzle.com.